Morning. It is 22 minutes past 7. About 12 o'clock I'm gonna do, well, about 11 o'clock I'm gonna clean my house, and at 12 o'clock I'm gonna do some groceries or whatever. Eating ice cream. Look. There's another one. Look. So I actually have been up most of the night. I couldn't sleep. And I beat the third palace in Persona 5. Pretty happy about that. Have you seen my clock? My new clock. It's from Final Fantasy 7. Super cool. Oh, damn. I hate zones. Oh well. Tyrex. Oh, fleas. 2, 1. Shake it. Don't break it. Boom, 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 boom. Venom. Oh no, don't crash it already, you idiot. It's kind of funny that, you know, now that we know the new Xbox, it's a cool device, you know, if you want the best console multiplats for this gen. But, you know, everyone has always said, like, you know, PS4 Pro, it can't do native 4K, you know, at 60, especially on 60 frames. So this game can run, I don't have a 4K screen, but this game can run at 60 frames at a native 4K. Actually, the guys at Digital Foundry were extremely impressed at how well it ran and how incredible good the game looks. There is a lot of stuff going on screen. It looks beautiful and sharp. It plays smoothly. It is pretty much a AAA game. And I find it very interesting and funny that now all of a sudden these, I won't say Microsoft or Xbox fans, I'll just say gamers, certain gamers are now like, oh yeah, you know, Wipeout is 4K at 60 because the game is ugly, it sucks, it's old gen game, blah blah blah. And that's true. I mean, it is an old gen game. It's a port of a Vita game and some PS3, the two PS3 games. But as Digital Foundry has said, it has been enhanced tremendously, making it pretty much a full-blown next gen game. Oh, I hate these. When do I get a trophy? So I know I will succeed, at least. Wipeout is really all about just learning how to drive, steer the vehicle, and learning the tracks, and know when, you know, to turn. And as you can see, I clearly don't know that.
Gold medal awarded. Zone 20. Clear. Energy critical.
Yeah. I really don't understand how people can do that, making those turns. It's freaking impossible. Let me get my ice cream. Ow. Okay. Speak up. Kyrex. Oh.
Gold medal awarded.
No, that was fast.
Session complete.
Even though I fucked it up.
Piranha.
Shield active. Turbo.
You lack record.
Shield active. Turbo.
Rockets.
Rockets.
Cannon.
Darn it.
Cannon. You lack record.
Turbo.
Cannon.
Plasma. Turbo.
Final lap.
Oh yeah.
Race complete. Gold medal awarded.
Mm. 2 weeks. Crash Bandicoot. Only 2 weeks. Holy shit. Now that I think about it, I mean, it does suck. Like next week is my last week of vacation, but there are 2 awesome things coming up. One is, you know, it's gonna be my first driving lessons next week. In total, gonna be 4 hours. That's gonna be awesome. And of course, the week after that, freaking Crash Bandicoot. And the month after that, Final Fantasy 12. It's a good time to be a gamer. Good time. Yes, my boy. Huh? Holy shit, I didn't know I've done all of these. Huh, okay. Hey, what's up, Gamer6? I'm a long-time Wipeout player. I have Wipeout on PS1, I never played it though. I played Wipeout HD a lot on PS3. You have to level up your player score, unlock the better chips. These things are like the cheapest ice creams of all time. 12 of them or 14 of them are like 60 cents. But damn, they're good. And they're like low calories, so you don't really get freaking fat. The sunlight. Go bitch. I have to admit though that I'm really bad at racing games. Doesn't matter which one. Did I get gold? Oh no. Oh, it's a time trial. I do like racing games though once in a while. I even played, was it Dirt 3 on PS3? You got it for free. It was actually pretty nice. I kind of liked it. I was like, okay, pretty cool. Of course, I played Drive Club a lot. Drive Club is, in my opinion, the best racing game that I have played on PS3. It's freaking good. I loved it. Drive Club is so cool. And of course, you know, as a PlayStation fan, come on, Gran Turismo. Sport is coming out, so who knows, maybe because of the online streaming and because of the emphasis on online gaming, maybe I'll finally really get into a racing game. I don't know. Like I played Wipeout, I played Gran Turismo 5 quite a lot. And I played Gran Turismo 6 quite a lot.
Gold medal awarded.
But I never really got far into the campaign mode. I mostly just, did the same races over and over again. So I could buy the better car, a cooler car. You have unlocked Icarus. Head Rush. Is it like a new vehicle or a new... Okay, so I have every team unlocked now. Okay, so this is the last team. Those are cool looking. Those are cool looking. Hell yeah. What's up, Sly2F1? Yes, even if you're not really big into racing games, this is definitely a bit different. You know, this is, as you're saying, it's a futuristic, you know, fast-paced fighting race game, kind of like I want to say Star Fox, the F-Zero games on for Nintendo. I wonder though, like, it's kind of weird, but I wonder if, for example, Gran Turismo is gonna be, or is going to feel different now that, you know, I kind of know the rules of driving, and hopefully in 3 months we'll actually know how to drive. Now, if that would change the way I look at a game like Gran Turismo. Because definitely from all the stats and stuff, and your driving, you had like driving licenses on Gran Turismo, I was always like, what the fuck, what should I do? Getting boost. Oh, second is cool.
Complete. Silver medal awarded.
Speed Racer. Is it also sort of a futuristic racer? Never heard of it. There is another game in the genre called Redoubt that is coming out this year on the Switch and PS4 and Xbox. And I think Switch itself has sort of an exclusive that is also in the same genre. So it's kind of weird when, I think there was on PS3, there was a game called Fatal Inertia. It was kind of weird because it was like announced for PS3, and then it got released on Xbox, and finally it got released on PS3. But many said it wasn't so good. So you don't really have that many games in this type of race genre, and now all of a sudden you're getting like 3.
Welcome to XL-klaudkil.
Haven't I already done this? It feels like the same. Oh wait, I think I have a game. Oh no, in 2008, because I think I had some sort of, no, it was more like a futuristic car racing, not with like flying cars. Like, is this a car? It's not a car. What's up, Ryder? My backlog is still big. You know, my backlog is impossible to beat. But if you're just talking about 2017, I have beaten all the games I bought. One of the last ones was Gravity Rush 2. I beat that last week, finally. That was cool. Holy shit, I'm 8. Not even funny. So I've beaten all of them. I've beaten Tales of, Horizon, Gravity Rush, Yakuza, Neo, Nier. I'm playing Wipeout at the moment, but I know I will never really beat all the campaign games. But I mean, it's a racing game, so yeah, I don't really see that as completing. But I'm now playing Persona 5, and that's not my main game now. The game is awesome. I just beat the third boss this night, and yeah, so it's a big game, really big game. It's not good. No, not return to grid, you dipshit. See, I already did this.
Triacus.
Yeah, Persona 5 is freaking awesome, especially the characters and the interaction between the characters. I mean, I won't say it's lifelike, because like groups of friends, at least from my experience, is never like that, really. That you really just be with each other pretty much all day long. It's never like that. Or maybe because I'm just older, of course. You know, my friends, they live together with someone, or it's far away, so that's a bit different. But I mean, the interaction between them is awesome. The characters itself are cool. Really likable characters. I only have now 5 characters out of the 7, is it? 7 or 8? And none of them are not likable. Even Ryuji, that's a little bit like you know, the one who creates trouble, pretty much. Even he is likable. And most of the time, I actually don't like these type of characters. All of them, the NPCs are likable. Of course, you know, if the game wants you to like them, because the bad guys you hate. But you know, especially the doctor girl, the goth girl. What's her name? Mikito, whatever. Holy shit, I'm so bad at names. Remembering names. Makato, I remember. Makato is the girl that has joined me in this palace. She's the students' council. The Switch costs 330 euros. I am not entirely sure. On a Friday, a friend of mine, he got the Switch. It was an impulse buy. He only bought Street Fighter 2. That was really weird. You know, I was really like, why do you spend 300 bucks on a game system and just buy Street Fighter with it? But he is a huge Street Fighter fan, so he has been, you know, holy shit, playing that game for many hours. But he got, you know, he bought the Switch because, you know, I told everyone that, yeah, I am going to be Sony and Nintendo, you know, they're all Japan. And to be honest, pretty much all of my friends are Sony and Nintendo. You know, there are only a couple who say, yeah, Nintendo, you know, kiddie games, I don't like that. But most of them, you know, they're gonna buy the Switch. My best friend, she actually bought the Switch. Well, her boyfriend bought the Switch, and she liked it so much that she bought one also. So they have now 2 Switches at home. That is pretty funny. And she's absolutely hooked on Zelda, and she never played a Zelda ever. You have to realize that she was a Xbox gamer who plays Gears of War and Halo and Assassin's Creed. So now, not only is she a PlayStation gamer, she plays Final Fantasy 15 and absolutely loved it. She's going to play Persona 5, and she got a Nintendo system and playing Zelda. So that is pretty cool. But yeah, my friend got with the Switch and I was highly impressed. Genuinely, I was highly impressed at how good it actually has been made. It's a really solid system. I'm like, holy damn. I was, you know, Nintendo, in my opinion, always makes these
Zone 10, clear.
cheap systems. Like, did I just die? Like, in my opinion, the Wii was pretty good built. But like, the Wii U was kind of, it felt cheap. The whole controller, it felt cheap. And the DS and the 3DS, in my opinion, felt really cheap. You know, they have great games, but it always felt like if I, you know, would use that top too much, that it breaks. But of course, it's my personal opinion that I thought about it. And he showed me the Switch, and I'm like, damn. Not only does it feel really good, it has an incredible, beautiful screen that is about 10% bigger than a Vita. And you know, I'm not gonna say I hate the Vita, but I literally never ever use it. Ever. I am just not a handheld gamer. It's a tiny screen. I don't like to look at a tiny screen. So I was impressed. The quality of the Switch is incredible. It's really solid. It's really sturdy. Even with the Joy-Cons on, it felt really sturdy. I'm like, whoa. I was really impressed with it. And he has, of course, he had the dock with him, and especially in dock mode, it's just a personal opinion, but the system looks really cool. I'm like, I think even myself, I didn't really appreciate how strong the Switch actually is for the size that it is. I mean, the Switch is, you know, not as strong as an Xbox One, but it's up there. And it is so freaking small. It is like the Switch could fit my Pro like 5 times. I was impressed with the quality on screen. Street Fighter 2 genuinely looked super cool. It looked beautiful. And on the small screen also. So, I was really impressed. The only thing I hated, and that is something that pretty much everyone hates, is if you want to play 2-player on a Joy-Con, you're like this. Really, you're seriously holding the controller like this. And that fucking sucked. I understand why they did it. I mean, you pretty much have 2 controllers right off the bat, but it doesn't work. Sorry, it doesn't work. It sucked monkey ass. It felt really annoying to hold the controller. Did I get used to it? Sure, a bit. You know, after a while I could play Street Fighter pretty good. But when I'm gonna buy my Switch, it's definitely gonna be a Pro Controller right away. Without a doubt. But especially, you know, that you can just put your game, you know, in the dock mode and you'll have the game on screen. Put it out and right away you'll have the game, you know, in your hand. It's super cool. And that could actually be the feature that would make me use the Switch as a handheld too. Because as you know, I travel about 2 hours a day for my work. So 1 hour to my work, 1 hour to home, and 1 hour of break. So 3 hours a day, I am gone from home, pretty much, and I don't do anything. I don't play games. I, you know, just check out emails or whatever. And I am like, the biggest, what I am afraid of the most is that, and that is something that more people have told me, like, you know, don't get the Switch because you're gonna have this. It's that there's so many games on PS4, I will never be able to play all of them. And I know that. But I still am going to, of course, spend the most time on my PS4. Will I play on the Switch if God of War comes out? No. Will I play on the Switch when Final Fantasy 12, Dragon Quest, Days Gone, name a few games comes out? No, I won't. At least not as much as I'm gonna play on my PS4. So my biggest fear is that when I buy the Switch, when I play Zelda, when I play Xenoblade, that is pretty much it. Like, there's nothing else. I'm not gonna play all the other games because I'm playing my PS4. And I checked out that whole mode where you can just make it portable, and I'm like, that could actually work. I could just, you know, play on my Switch a little bit on the screen, and when I'm like, nah, I want to play PS4, I could just use it, you know, when I travel. So I'm like, that is perfect, and definitely because at home, I will never play on a handheld. Why the fuck would I do that? That is so dumb, in my opinion. Sure, you have the PlayStation TV, but it reeks, it stretches the game in such a way. I'm not gonna say it looks ugly or unplayable. It's just that I don't really do it. Because in my opinion, it still feels like it's a handheld game. So, you know, using the Switch as a handheld system and as a console, I'm like, that will be perfect. You know, I can play Xenoblade a bit, and when I'm like, nah, I want to play PS4, I'll just, you know, the next day bring it with me, and I can play Xenoblade on the go. And I think that will be the biggest feature for me to actually keep playing on the Switch. I would never sell my PS4 for a Switch. The Switch is gonna be a great system. It's hopefully going to have much Japanese support. But here's the thing, and you know, I've talked about this a lot of times. The Switch, just like the Vita, the Switch power is on par, you know, if you consider it, on par with PS4. You know, a Vita game a little bit upgraded to a, you know, better resolution, and it looks pretty decent. You know, there are a lot of examples like Dragon Quest Builders, like Dragon Quest Heroes 2, like World of Final Fantasy, the Sword Art games, you know, they look pretty good. even on PS4. So the difference between Switch and PS4 is going to be even smaller compared to the Vita. And I am like, sure, you know, the Switch is going to outsell PS4, hopefully eventually. I truly hope that for Nintendo. You know, Sony is going to do everything they can to make sure the PS4 will sell as much as they can, but in Japan, handholds are king, and the Switch is both. It's the perfect system in Japan. But in the West, it's totally different. In the West, consoles still reign supreme over pretty much everything and everyone. And especially now that Japanese games are getting more recognized and selling good, I don't really see there are gonna be a lot of like exclusives from Japan for the Switch. Sure, there will be a couple, but many of them will be announced for like PS4 and Switch. That's my prediction. I'm not saying that's true. I'm saying that's my prediction. Because it would be weird to leave out a 60, 70, or 80 million fan base. Who knows when, you know, PS5 comes out, to make a game exclusive to a system that does not have that install base. So that's the reason why, of course, I would never sell my PS4. Because Switch will be used for exclusives, for the Nintendo games. Stuff like Xenoblade. And so, you know, that's my biggest fear, is that I'm not really gonna play it anymore because there's nothing coming out for that system besides those two games. Like Splatoon, it looks nice. Mario Kart will be fun. But like Kirby, Yoshi, Mario, especially Mario Odyssey, I have no interest in at all. And the other ones, I'm like, I would buy that when it's cheap. Will I really play it? I don't know. But don't get me wrong, it doesn't mean I'm not going to buy it. I am definitely going to buy the Switch. Who knows? Just for Zelda and Xenoblade, I think it's pretty worth it. And you know, if Nintendo is like this in the first, you know, year, I think that Nintendo truly knows they have to push for the games. Like Metroid Prime 4 could also be a game I like. But I'm especially just really into the Japanese stuff. You know, the RPGs. So, I don't hope Switch will get a lot of exclusives, but I pretty much know it's gonna be like, it's just like 3DS and Vita. There are a lot of 3DS games you don't see on the Vita. It's just, that's just how it is. And especially Xenoblade, it's just, you know, I've been saying this for many times. I've seen Xenoblade gameplay for like 2 or 3 times, and I have seen it on big screen, on the big screen, because I have seen this on this small of a screen. Of course, everything will look a lot better. And yesterday I watched it on the big screen, and sure, it was less impressive. It was a bit more like, oh, you know, you can fully see the low resolution and this and that, but still, in my opinion, it looked more interesting than Final Fantasy 15. It looked freaking amazing. So, and with the Zelda game, like, if I spend like 60 hours on Zelda and 60 hours on Xenoblade, you know, and with Mario Kart and Splatoon, I think I'll get my money's worth. Oh, that was stupid. Did you see that? If I say no, I'm not gonna buy a Switch, then I will never really get out of that fanboy system. And I don't want to be a fanboy. I want to be a fan of Japanese games and not a fan of a system. But I would try to just sell your Xbox. And no, you're not getting a lot of money for it.
Gold medal awarded.
But never sell your PS4.
Complete.
If you love Japanese games, that is a big mistake.
Mirage.
Mirage. By the way, talking about selling stuff, it's something that I have thought about for a long time actually. It's not the first time. I thought about this for a very long time. I talked about it a lot of times in a lot of my streams. Especially now that, I'm not really into, like, how do you say that? Because I am into collecting. I love collecting games. And as a collector, as I just mentioned, I will never be able to play all the games. I will not be able to buy all the games, play all the games, and beat all the games. It's impossible. But I still love to collect games. But, like, I don't really want to collect for a system I don't really care about. Like, the PSP was a cool system. I liked it. I played it a lot. I still recently, play it sometimes. It's a cool system. I like it. But the Vita is just like, I know there's a huge following for Vita. I know that there are many diehard fans for the system. It's just that I am not. And I was really looking into my small Vita collection and I'm like,
Zone 5.
this will never really increase. I will never really spend money to build a good Vita collection. And so I made a decision that I am going to sell my Vita. And of course all the games. Especially now that many Vita games are also on PS4. And of course I'd rather have it on PS4. There is even less urge to really, stick with the Vita. Especially that I just don't do anything with it. Like with the PS4, it's always like, there's always a chance I'll be buying and playing the game. With the Vita, I'll be honest, it's like no chance at all. The last game I played was like Tales of Hearts. And that was like last year. And that was pretty nice. That was cool. But I mean, the Switch is also getting a Tales of game. Now that I think about Japanese games, Switch is getting an exclusive Tales of game. So those are already 3 Japanese games I need for the Switch. Stupid freaking racetrack. So I also have Breach and Clear for the Vita. Yes. And I already got an offer for 200 euros. Holy damn. Who the fuck would spend 200 euros on that game? So, talking about, when I'm gonna buy the Switch and how I'm gonna afford it, well, here you go. The Vita is pretty much going to afford my Switch. Switch, by the way, buyable everywhere here. Not entirely sure how it is in UK or, in America, but here the shortages are pretty much gone. You can just buy it. Like, for example, in the game store that I buy most of my games, these guys said that they were getting 2 big shipments this week and all the pre-orders are then gone. Okay. Here in Holland, you can easily buy it. This is my least favorite team. I don't know why. They just suck. This just looks, yeah. Oh, this one looks really cool. Pew pew. Yeah, I know on Amazon they're sold out. I know that. I hope next weekend I'll be you know, beating Persona 5, I hope. I mean, theoretically, it's of course easily possible. You know, 7 days, time, 24 hours. You know, I could easily beat the game. I'm now at 41 hours at Persona, so I could easily beat the game. But I'm not someone who can really play like 50 hours a week for the same game. And after Persona 5, I'm like, there's actually nothing that's really like big. Only like stuff I'm gonna like, you know, complete. Like I still need to beat Dragon Quest Heroes, Dragon Quest Builders, and beat all the stuff in Horizon, beat the DLC for Neo, you know. And of course when Crash Bandicoot comes out. What's up, Ace Brand? The upcoming PS4 game I pre-ordered already is Crash Bandicoot, of course. And after Crash Bandicoot, it's Final Fantasy 12. Oh yeah, this one's pretty cool too. Oregon. It's just 8 o'clock here.
Welcome to Psvita Cave.
By the way, H. Brand, have you seen the what was it? It's the gameplay video of Days Gone, where they play the same demo as in E3, what Sony showed, but then in a different way. I think it was like rainy, and one of them was like snowy. That was pretty impressive. I haven't seen it. The only thing I know though is it's really shocking to me, at least, is that Dragon Quest XI is #1 in every online store in Japan for PS4. I was really just like, you know, handhelds are so big in Japan. You know, the 3DS version is gonna be #1, but it actually is not. That is that really means that Japanese gamers still want that AAA RPG experience that you, of course, do not get on the 3DS. I don't know if an official price cut will come. I think it would be smart of Sony to do it, especially for Japan.
Oricon.
You know, like here, when the Switch came out in March, Sony dropped the price temporary to 180 euros, 190, 200. It all depends on which, you know, store you bought it. At E3, they dropped the price to 200. Now we all know how much the PS4 has sold. It sold about 2.5 million more than last year in the same time frame. Something that almost never happens in the 4th year of a system. So we pretty much know when Scorpio comes out or like Mario comes out, it's gonna be a price cut. It's gonna be a temporary price cut or a real price cut. But I'm not entirely sure if Sony Japan also do that. Because that would be perfect to, you know, release a game as big as Dragon Quest and then announce a price cut. Monster Hunter is, I think, definitely going to be a system seller. You know, I've seen multiple topics on forums, and of course, you know, they're not analysts, they're just people who, you know, love the industry as much as I do and you do, and they were really like, this could be big. What the fuck was that? Like, the next Monster Hunter could be so big. You know, it's not a port, it's not a side game, it is a real Monster Hunter. It is just the evolution of Monster. Monster Hunter has been the same since pretty much when it got released. And finally, Capcom is making the step to, you know, evolve it, to make it better. Hopefully. So, that could be huge in Japan. And I truly hope that the game will be big here in the West too.
Missile, rockets, race complete.
Monster Hunter, there's actually a, how do you say that, behind closed doors footage from Monster Hunter Worlds that someone's actually playing it, and it looks so cool. It looks exactly like the trailer. That's really impressive. Oh, did they actually, did they do a price cut for Persona 5? Oh, I didn't know that. You know, there are some gamers who say, you know, why are they not announcing Dragon Quest? You know, I'm afraid it's not coming to the West. I guarantee it, it's coming out to the West. I guarantee it. With the success Final Fantasy 15 made, with the success of all the smaller Japanese games, you know, in their view, stuff like Yakuza and you know, Neo, selling more than 1 million. It's coming. It is freaking coming. They're just really focusing on Japan for now. When it comes out in Japan, we're gonna hear about it. Hey, why didn't do a barrel roll? Stupid game. Finally, I'm hitting some pads.
Cannon.
Get the fuck out with your cannon.
Plasma. Cannon. New lap record. Final lap.
Damn it! I didn't do it.
Shield active.
Reach me.
Wait up. Let me.
Rockets.
Oh, actually, number one. So I was.
Tender eliminated.
Holy shit! Did you see that? That was pretty cool. Ah, okay. I didn't know that actually. That was a time when you got a price card. That's cool. But I mean, it would be, you know, I don't, of course, know how much, you know, the sales increased in March and you know, last week. The only thing that we know is this year PS4 already sold 2.5 million more than last year. So it has to have some sort of contribution, you know, in sales. So Sony should understand that, hey, if we do this more often, you know, we can have really good sales. You know, I think that the industry, the gaming industry itself, console industry, it is as big as it was back in PS2. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that PS4 is gonna sell like PS2, but it could be possible. It could be possible. I think it all depends on Sony themselves. We have never seen a $100 PS3. We can definitely see a $100 PS4. But it all depends on Sony when they're gonna do it. Like if they're gonna do it, you know, after the PS5 launches, no, we're not gonna see huge sales. But if they can do it like end of next year, for example, we could see massive sales.
Final lap.
So again, I'm not saying it's gonna sell as much as PS2, but I think PS4, if Sony does it right, can easily sell like 120 million, maybe 130 million. It all depends on, you know, how strong Japan will be. It really all depends on price and when Sony decides to
Plasma.
cut it.
Complete.
I know. Isn't it actually, if I'm not mistaken, you're not actually seeing this, but I am used at playing in front of the television because I didn't have my glasses, right? So I'm sitting here. This is like 3.5 meters away now, and I don't know how, but slowly I am like moving forward. Because I was here when I beat the level. I'm like, hey, wait up, this is not good. Kind of funny. I don't know why. It's just slowly I'm going in front of the television again. Well, not always. On PS3, they definitely did not do that. But I mean, it was a different time, different era. And, you know, they really understand that it works. Having fire deals, fire sales, special sales, it works. So I actually think, now don't get me, I don't know, I'm just thinking, last year, if we're just talking about America, you know, the biggest country pretty much for gaming. In the United States, last year you had a $200 PS4. Why the fuck would I do that? Could we see $180 or $160 or $150 PS4 this holiday in America? I'm curious. I mean, for Europe, it's definitely gonna happen. It's gonna be 180, you know, with games. Europe actually always had really good end of the year deals. That you had like a PS4 with Until Dawn, Crash Bandicoot, Uncharted. You always had really good deals. I'm really curious how low they're gonna do, you know, for United States and Japan. Japan is now getting some really good games.
Tournament complete.
I won, bitch. Only 2 more to go. 2 time trials to go. I got 3,000 loyalty points and don't even have a new ship. That sucks.
Pfizer.
What's up, Ryder 3198? I was actually thinking of making a couple of videos today. Now that you messaged me about it. Maybe I'm gonna do a game of all the stuff I beat. There's also like the collection update video has been asked for a lot. But here's the thing, like, I know there are a lot of YouTubers out there who do collection videos, sometimes even every month. But many of them do it like, you know, every 6 months. It's just that I really haven't bought that much. Maybe about what? Like 25, 30 PS4 games this year? Since I really stopped buying all the launch games. So in my opinion, and that is just my personal opinion, that kind of feels like not really a cash grab because I don't really earn that much. But just, you know, oh, for the views, he's doing another collection video. And I am really against that. Like, I don't give a shit if my videos are being viewed a lot of times or not. You know, if I get 200 subscribers or 10,000. The only thing I just really want is, you know, like this, that people talk to me. That's pretty cool. I just want to, you know, talk to people. And hope that I can change someone's mind when, you know, I tell them like, hey, you should buy this game, that they're like, you know, Klaudkil said it, so maybe I will buy it. That's the only thing I care about. So that's why I really have this rule of collection videos every year. Because in a year time, I mostly do buy quite a lot. And then I believe that it is worth your time, if you like watching collection videos, to check out my updated collection video, because there's actually a lot of new stuff in it. That's why I always do it once a year. But I can show you, I mean, if you wanna see it. Here is it. Ta-da! See, updated collection. Was that number 1? But lately, like, I don't know, lately I just have been really lazy in making like real videos. I don't know why. That's just how it is, I guess. Pyrex. Oh yeah, you talked about that. There was a Japan only post E3 show. I didn't even know that. I've seen a couple of interviews, but that's about it. And it's more like, you know, games itself. Oh yeah, double barrel roll, bitches. Ew. I'm missing all the packs, that's kind of weird. It would be a smart move. I think that everyone would agree. And, you know, price cuts are always good. No one will, you know, make bad advertisement when, you know, a system is in sale or getting a price cut. And I remember Sony saying, I'm not entirely sure if it was when PS4 almost launched or was already launched, but I do remember them saying that they feel that they have no competition. They feel that the only competition they have is with their own product. Now, of course, they are referring to PS2. Pretty much every console in the world is competing against PS2. Everyone wants to have that success. Switch, Xbox, PS4 with Sony, or Sony with PS4. Doesn't matter what system, every hardware company is looking at the PS2 and thinking, that's what I want. That is the success I want. No one is going to look and say, oh, if my system sells 20 million, I'll be happy. No. So, if Sony believes that the PlayStation 2, their own product, is the only competition they have, and let's be honest, this generation is over. Switch is gonna sell a lot, but it's not gonna compete against PS4. So, you know, they have beaten everyone. They have beaten the Wii U, they have beaten Xbox. There's nothing left for PS4 to do. So, if Sony is really focused on beating their own product, then they have to make price cuts a lot faster and a lot more times. So, for example, with big games, price cut. And making sure that eventually the PS4 will be buyable for even like a high school kid. You know, like if the PS2 in my days would have been $100, it would take me 4 months to save up my allowance and buy one. But of course, I was really young and I had to buy a PS2 at, you know, at launch price. So it took me more than a year to get a PS2 with the help of my parents, because actually I didn't have enough money even though I thought I had. So I remember being really bummed out, like, oh shit, you know, I have to save up even more. And after school, I saw a box. I asked my mom, what is that? She said, open it up. And it was a PS2, you know. So that's really cool that they just bought it for me. Of course they used all my money, but if they didn't do that, I had to save up like another year. And that is really what Sony needs to aim at, making sure that everyone, literally everyone, can buy a PS4. Because at $300, bigger families who are normal families, you know, families like what I grew up with, they just had normal jobs and they cannot afford a $300 system, or not easily. So if Sony really is serious about making sure the PS4 has success as PS2, there gotta be big price cuts. They gotta go, you know, that $300 price cut should go. At least make it $200, at least. I mean, $200 is manageable for poor people or normal people. I don't like to say poor people, but normal people. If you say poor people, it looks like I'm looking down at them, and of course I'm not. So normal people, or normal jobs, or, you know, jobs that sadly don't pay that much. Yeah, mainstream. Like the PS3 mainstream was $300. From going, you know, for $600 to $300, that was a 50% reduction in the cost. So, of course, at that price, $299, you had a lot of advertisements with that guy, Butler, who it was really good advertisement from Sony with Butler. What was his name? He was really funny. You know, so, but PS4 launched at $400, so 50% reduction is $200. That's the average price. But if they really want to have success like PS2, it gotta be $150. Yeah, oh yeah, Kevin Butler. It gotta be $150, you know, $200, $100. I understand that Sony wants to make the most money as they can from hardware, but software is where the big money is. You know, subscriptions, PlayStation Network, physical games, big exclusives. And the bigger the install base you have, the more percentage of people who could buy your game. And that is something so funny that is now really big. I'm not entirely sure if you guys have ever heard of that. Especially Nintendo fans use it, and they call it the attach rate wars. So fucking stupid. So here's the thing. For example, Horizon Zero Dawn sold like 2.6 million in its first first couple of hours, days, whatever. And Nintendo fans will then say, they are mostly Nintendo fans, not trying to be an asshole, it's just the truth. Most of them are Nintendo fans. And then they're like, oh, but that's only an attach rate of like 7%. Oh my god, PlayStation gamers don't buy PlayStation games, they're not real fans. And look at Nintendo, you know, there are more Zeldas being sold than there are Switches, because they really like Nintendo. You know, Zelda is more popular, or this game is more popular, because the attach rate is bigger. That is so fucking stupid. But it's something new. We had PS3 has no games. You know, PS3 sucks. You had frame rate, you had resolution, and now we have the attach rate wars. That's so funny. I like the songs in this game. I actually don't really like these type of songs. I'm more of a, you know, J-pop, heavy metal, death metal kind of dude. Did I just... What the fuck? I totally did not see that coming.
And let the beat control your body.
I think this is the first time that I played the game and I actually got destroyed. Oh, I want to do Return to Grid, of course. Holy shit, actually... That sucks. That really sucks. Yeah, I mean, many people really try to explain to those fans, you know, if you have a system, because, you know, Nintendo has a huge die-hard following. It's, you know, it's logic. How old is Nintendo? How many systems have they made? You know, many people like my mom and my father, they know Nintendo. You know, they were young when Super Nintendo came out and whatever. So of course, these type of people have a huge sense of loyalty and knowing, like, you know, if you look at the reactions from like Meteor Prime, it is awesome, you know, how much passion Nintendo fans have for Nintendo. But if there is a highly anticipating system being released, like the Switch, and the only real game is Zelda, also from a long-running franchise that has pretty much been said for so many that it's like one of the best franchises of all time, you know, what do you expect? Of course everyone is going to buy a Switch with Zelda. That's the only game you really want to play on it. So of course the attach rate is going to be extremely high. That is common knowledge. But if you have a 60 million user base from all around the world, from gamers who love all kinds of genres, of course it's impossible to make sure that everyone buys your game. But let's just be honest with this one. Back in the day, there was one PlayStation game who could sell 10 million, and that was Gran Turismo. The only one, in my opinion, in my knowledge, who has ever sold 10 million. Jack never did it, Ratchet & Clank never did it, God of War never did it, Echo Shadow of Colossus definitely never did it. You know, Crash Bandicoot, I don't know, pretty much all the Sony games, they never sold 10 million besides Gran Turismo. Now, Uncharted is pretty much at 10 million, we know that. It's 9 million physical games. It has to be about 1 million, you know, digital. And that game is still selling extremely well. You know, it's still high on top of everyone's list. Horizon Zero Dawn, the last thing we know is it sold 3.4 million, was it? For a new IP, from a game developer who only created shooters, that is the most impressive of all. They created shooters, and they have now built one of the most awesome open world games I have ever played. But whatever. That game has sold 3.4 million. It's gonna sell about, my prediction is about 6 million this year. With all the deals, with the end of the year, pretty much everyone who is a gamer and who buys a PS4 is like, we need to get Horizon and Uncharted, right? Everyone has that. So that game is at the end going to sell 10 million. That's my prediction. It's definitely going to sell 10 million. That's what I think. So those are already two games. You have Uncharted, you have Horizon, that could sell 10 million. Then you get God of War. Now it all depends how good is God of War going to be. If Sony does it right, if Santa Monica Studio actually creates an incredible game, if it's gonna sell as much as Uncharted or Horizon, it could potentially be another 10 million. Potentially. You know? God damn it, why am I getting hit all the fucking time? So that is already 3 games that potentially could hit 10 million. Then we got Gran Turismo Sports. Now, if there is one game out there who could sell 10 million, it is Gran Turismo Sports. Get the fuck out. So, it is really funny that Nintendo fans believe they're the only ones, but in general, you know, there are, I'm not gonna say Sony, but there are developers who are also making games that could easily and is going to sell 10 million. And there will be a lot more than on the Switch.
Race complete.
Yeah. Well, to be honest, I think that VR is perfect for shooters and horror games. Like, I am closely watching the VR movement. I am closely watching, like, what type of games are gonna come out. Are they good? Are they getting physical releases? And the more games that are coming out that are in my book, in my street of games, the more I feel that, you know, maybe I should get VR again. But that will definitely not be with such a high price. Heck, it could even be when like PS5 launches. Then I'm like, you know, maybe I'm gonna buy VR, whatever. My opinion, Assassin's Creed Origins. I have played Assassin's Creed 2. I did not like it. I don't know why. I did not like the era, and I did not like the gameplay. Of course, I've seen the gameplay from Microsoft conference, and I like Egypt. Like, I'm not a huge fan of old Egypt, but I like it. I like the style. I like the mythology behind pharaohs and stuff, and their gods. It's cool. So that's number one. It looked beautiful, at least what they showed. And I do like that it has more of a RPG approach. You know, with gear grinding, leveling up. It, to be honest, kind of felt like Horizon. Don't want to be a douchebag because Horizon is nothing new and nothing special, gameplay-wise. But it kind of felt like I was playing like a different version of Horizon. So I most probably will buy Assassin's Creed when it hits like 20 bucks to just try it out because it looks interesting. And of course it all depends on, is the game playable? Is the game going to have million patches? to fix all the bugs, or is it actually a well-made game? Syndicate also seems to be a pretty nice game. I've heard many good things about it. But because of Unity, Syndicate didn't sell that much, and that's when Ubisoft decided to stop making yearly games and focus on quality. So I'm just saying, like, you know, let's show it. Show it. Let's see how good Ubisoft can be. Next race. I think that Nintendo also should focus on having, you know, two industries on their platform. Just like Sony, I wouldn't say Microsoft. No, just like Sony, you know, with their AAA games like God of War, but they also have the smaller games like NEC and Wipeout that don't cost 60 bucks. Of course, who knows, maybe like Kirby and Yoshi are gonna be those type of games that are gonna be inexpensive. But I think that, you know, when Ratchet & Clank came out, it was kind of a guess. Like, is it gonna sell for that price? It's a reboot. And it sold really well. So I definitely remember Sony saying that they were really surprised at how good Ratchet & Clank was selling. And I truly believe that is the reason why Wipeout is 40, everybody goals is 40, NEC 2 is gonna be 40. Because of that success, because they realized that not every game is worth 60 bucks. Oh, really? Oh, that fucking sucks. Like, I was mildly excited for Skull and Bones, because I'm not really huge with pirates, but I do like, you know, the sea warfare. But if it's gonna be the bullshit again, like the Division, you can actually see one of my old videos. I was actually interested in the Division. It was actually pretty high on my anticipating list, up until I heard it's gonna be online required. I'm like, fuck that shit. So again, with Skull and Bones, fuck that shit. What the fuck, I died. That's not good. Oh well. That really sucks. Why? Many people were really, you know, talking about Skull and Bones. Why the fuck would you do it with online required? What the fuck? That is so stupid. At that regard, Ubisoft really didn't learn their lessons with For Honor. That sucks. Well, to be honest, like, if you're gonna make a pirate game, it should not be linear. It should be open world with like really cool warfare and customizable ships and, you know, different type of ships like gallons and the smaller ones and like the big battleships. That'll be so cool. Like the dreadnoughts. Or make it even more interesting. Make it fantasy-like. You know, with like dreadnoughts, I mean, like hundreds of cannons and different races. That'll be so cool. Why the fuck did I do in the mines? Definitely, you know, for every storyline game, in my opinion, the most important one is the characters and storyline. If the gameplay is great, but the characters and story suck, I will abandon the game a lot sooner than if the gameplay is just mediocre, but the storyline and the characters are great.
Race complete.
Well, Naughty Dog, Uncharted of course, and then Last of Us. They are going to be fully working on The Last of Us 2. I don't expect anything else from Naughty Dog anymore. So, I fully expect The Last of Us 2 to be the last game for Naughty Dog on PlayStation 5. On PlayStation 4. Well, Naughty Dog does have some sort of tradition that, even though they haven't done it this gen, they have done a new IP every gen. So on PS1 you had Crash Bandicoot, PS2 you had Jak and Daxter, PS3 you had Uncharted and The Last of Us, and sure, this generation they haven't done anything new, but I hope we're gonna see something new from them. Now that Horizon Zero Dawn sold so much, Sony is definitely going to invest a lot more in new IPs, because it does work. You know, we have seen so many news topics about, companies making the same franchise because it sells, making a new IP is really dangerous and this and that, and it really shows that if you make a good quality game, people will buy it. Heck, even Nintendo is doing it. That was not good. Oh, energy is actually critical. That's not good.
Plasma.
Biopilot. Biopilot engaged.
Race complete.
Well, I think that, you know, we have said that multiple times after we saw E3 and nothing new got released. I think that the bigger PlayStation games are going to be announced at PSX. PlayStation experience in the future is going to be more important than E3. What's up, Dizzy21100? Ik ben inderdaad vroeg op. Ik ben al zo'n beetje 1,5 uur bezig. Could not sleep. Could not sleep. That is an interesting question, and it all depends. Sometimes I can play the entire day, but most of the time, it is definitely in the weekends. It's definitely long. Like if I don't have anything else to do, and I really try to do something else, you know, going out with friends or going to the movies or whatever. For example, today we hope to have a barbecue. But most of the time, I'll just play the entire weekend. That's definitely true. On normal days, work days, of course I have to work. You know, I'll be at home 6 o'clock, making dinner 7 o'clock. So I have about 5 hours to play video games. Sometimes I watch a movie, sometimes I just play video games. It also really depends on what game, what my mood is, but yeah, generally speaking, I spend a lot of times up front of my television, if that's what you meant to ask. A lot more than most people do. But then again, a lot of normal people watch television hours and hours, so it's almost the same. And of course, if you're getting older, you know, I'm 30 now, and all of your friends are getting married, getting children, living together, it's gonna be harder and harder to actually do stuff because there is no one to actually do stuff with. And you know, I'm not entirely sure how old you are, but you will learn that for yourself, that all of your friends that you're gonna see every day, you're not gonna see every day. Yes, PSX is indeed really going to be the Nintendo Direct. You know, it's gonna be focused only on PlayStation, and they're gonna announce a lot more stuff than they're gonna do on E3. E3 will really be about, look, we got all of these games coming up. Well, this is something really cool for me personally. In September, if I pass, and I pretty much know I will have a car. So first look is in October, November, I will have my car. So I am not reliable on anyone else. And last year I went with the train and it sucked monkey ass. So yes, I will be going to first look. And it's pretty much going to be my first trip in my car ever, because you know, my going to a different city trip. So it's gonna be cool. Because the first couple of months I'll definitely be just, you know, traveling to my mom, you know, my nephews or my friends, and that's like maximum like in half an hour. But yeah, I'm going to. I don't know really why, because I'm not someone who actually goes in line and wait for like a game. And I mean, that is what many people do on first look, on game events, you know, going in line, playing Zelda for the first time, you know, a month before the game comes out. I never do that, and I've never done that. Not even with PS4, never. But I still like to, you know, walk around, check out some stuff, checking out, you know, merchandise. And,
Missile.
you know, I mean, it's the only big event in Holland, so it's always nice.
Plasma.
Shield active.
Final lap. Missile. Missile.
Yeah, just take a look, you know, most of the time I do have some money with me to buy merchandise. You know, they especially have a lot of anime stuff. I think if I remember correctly, and I do, last year they even had like hentai toys and sex toys from anime.
Tournament.
And I remember correctly that there was no one at that stand. Oh, that was kind of funny. Like, you know, I was just, you know, I was with a friend, and we were like just walking, and I was like, what the fuck is that? So I went to it. I'm like, holy shit, those are sex toys. Like, goddamn, that is so cool. You know, in that regard, I'm like really open-minded. You know. Do I ever go to like a sex shop? No, because why would I? But stuff like that is so cool. So I was just going there on my own, checking out stuff, and there was literally no one at that stand. I mean, I understood it, like all the gaming nerds and geeks, they don't want to be confronted with that. And I think there was actually a really beautiful girl there, standing there. You know, I think they were trying to attract customers with a beautiful girl, even though as a nerd gamer it more pushes them away because they're like, oh my god, I'm not gonna do that. But that was really weird. That was really weird. I've actually been to, I'm not entirely sure if that's also in different countries, but here in Holland we had something called the Kama Sutra Beurs, and it's like, you know, like a big event about, you know, that. So you have like porn stars and toys and all kinds of shows. Especially the shows, that's pretty much what I watched. That was pretty cool. But yeah, you know, when I say like, hey, you want to go to, you know, the Kama Sutra Beurs, they're like, oh my god, you're not going there. I'm like, yeah, of course, it's cool. I've been there twice. And the last time wasn't as good as the first one. They have, like, they really, how do you say that? They blocked everything. Like the first time, you just saw people, you know, naked and doing their stuff. And now everything was like blocked. Even if you want to like go and see stuff, you actually had to be with someone else. So you had to be a couple to actually go there. That was really weird. So the only thing that I could do was just walk around and see some shows. Because I was with a group of friends, and that was also the last time they did it. They're not doing it anymore. It's kind of shame. But yeah, it was really weird to see that on a game event. Like, okay, that's weird.
Triacus.
But it's cool in the same way, because I mean, like anime and like hentai, they kind of all fit into the game nerd. You know, most game nerds like anime, and if you like anime, you most probably will like, you know, ecchi or hentai. Like I don't know, like hentai is sometimes fun to look at, but in my opinion it gets boring really fast. But like ecchi I really like. And if you don't know what ecchi is like between anime and hentai. So it's more like teasing, it's more like fan service. So stuff like Ikitausen, you know, I love Ikitausen. It's a real anime franchise. You know, it's not like stupid bullshit. It has a real storyline, it has characters. It's really great. but they tease a lot. You know, many of the girls have gigantic boobs, and when they fight each other, they rip their clothes off and that kind of stuff, but you don't really see naked or action. So that's actually what I like. I like fan service stuff when it comes to, you know, anime stuff. And pretty much like almost every anime nowadays have fan service. So in that regard, you could say that almost every anime is ecchi-ish. But it's still for, you know, many gamers like something you don't talk about, considering, you know, hentai stuff. But everyone knows they like it. Some like it a bit too much though. Like if you really get, you know, off from hentai, then that is something weird. They're cartoons. Here in Holland, by the way, talking about that stuff, trying to make it a little bit less awkward. Here in Holland, a couple of years ago, they actually, there was like in the politics, there was a really big talk about, you know, it was a time where anime like Gundam, Dragon Ball, you know, they got really popular. And of course, you know, our politics, they heard about it and they checked it out and they're like, of course they saw stuff like hentai. And so the talk was that there were some people that actually wanted to be wanted to make hentai a crime, because they said it's with underage girls. So if you watch that kind of anime, you're pretty much watching child porn, and that is of course forbidden. I mean, of course that you're fucking insane if you like that kind of stuff. But anime or hentai, they always say they're above 18. Everybody knows kind of that it's being made as they look really young. But it is at the bottom, it's a cartoon. It's fake. Okay, it's fake. No one gets hurt. No one gets hurt. It's not a child. It's fake. So I was laughing and at the same time angry at that they actually thought that watching a cartoon should be a crime. I was really like, if they're gonna do that, that's taking away my freedom as watching a cartoon that maybe has sexual stuff in it. Only because they thought it's child porn, and of course it's not. That is fucking stupid. You're actually sick if you even think about that. Yeah, the politics in Netherlands are just idiots. They are idiots. That's the only word I can describe. Idiots. And I'm not going to talk about politics because I don't like that, but that was just something. Of course, that was the last thing I've ever heard of it, because no one in the politics really gave a shit. No one really knew about it, and you know, what can they do? But that's really kind of weird. But for example, for me, you know, I have 3 little nephews and 1 little niece. They're gonna be 7 years old, 4 years old, and 2 years old. So listen to this. If, for example, I don't know, we go to a park, and you know, they hang out, they play whatever, what kids do nowadays, watching their phone or play. And there's a guy or a girl, I don't give a shit, but most of the time it's a guy who comes up to them and, you know, try to do stupid stuff. You know, try to touch them or whatever. And of course I'll kill him, but let's say I beat the living shit out of that guy. Then he calls the cop and I go to jail. And he doesn't. And that's actually not a joke. That actually happened a few times. Where a dad beats up a child molester and he is being treated as a criminal, and the child molester is like, yeah, we don't have any proof. I'm like, what the fuck? If someone breaks in my house and I beat the living shit out of him, I go to jail. He is the victim and I am not. That is how stupid politics in Holland is. People really think that Holland is like a dream country, maybe 20 years ago, but now Holland fucking sucks. The only thing that I respect about Holland is that we at least try to be multicultural. We try to respect everyone. Most people do that. It is safe here. I never feel unsafe here. We haven't gotten like a terrorist attack or whatever. You know, the roads are pretty safe. It's really modern. Everyone has to eat pretty much. But yeah, some things here in Holland are like, what the fuck? Should I?
Mirage.
Mirage.
Welcome to Amalfi Pass.
Three, two, one. Lift off! You should say lift off. That's so much cooler. Ah, I'm itching my nose.
Gold medal awarded. Session complete.
But it's just no vice. It's not even scaled. I don't give a shit. I am bad at this game. Shut the fuck up. Time trial. Speed lab.
Harimow.
Hey Sprint, you idiot! You're still here? Oh, you're still here, huh? Lift off. No, lift off. Ooh, cool. Did you hear that Shadow of the Colossus is a full remake, not a remaster, and they're actually going to make the controls better. So you actually have an option for the original controls and an option to have the better controls. So hopefully they don't fuck it up like The Last Guardian, and that I will not be frustrated as The Last Guardian. Because I never played Shadow of the Colossus, so this will be my first time. That definitely sounds better. Yeah. Like many people say Shadow of the Colossus is such an incredible game. You know, I don't want to abandon the game because it frustrates me. Because what I've learned from The Last Guardian is I am never going to play a game like that ever again. It has been, The Last Guardian is one of the most amazing experiences, but also one of the most just frustrating experiences I've ever had. And so frustrating that I really got angry. I'm like, no, you know, I'm gonna beat the game, but I never want to play a game like that ever again. So hopefully Shadow of the Colossus is not like that. Because it looks so cool. I love big titans and fantasy beasts.
Gold medal awarded.
Especially when in the trailer you saw that gigantic golem. You're like a tiny guy. He's like, "Whoa." That is so cool.
Icarus.
Yeah, I've actually heard that. Well, to be honest, like I prefer a new game in the franchise than a remake. But like if they would totally remake like Siphon Filter, Medieval, I wouldn't be against it. Like the difference between PS1 and PS4 is so large that it's gonna feel like a new game. Especially like Medieval, that would be really cool. Medieval is such a cool game. Yeah, I think that's why it's really interesting because Bluepoint is making a lot of these remakes and remasters. I literally have never heard of these guys before. For me, they come out of the blue like, hey, we're Bluepoint and we're making these and these remakes. Like, okay, who are you? That's kind of interesting because didn't they also do this game? And this one is just, holy damn, they're really good. Oh no, they did Uncharted. They did the Uncharted collection. I mean, that game is really good. Definitely. I hear so many people crying about Legend of Dragoon and Wild Arms, but especially Legend of Dragoon. If they actually announce that, people are going to be insane. It's gonna have, you know, that E3 reaction, that holy shit, the room is exploding reaction. And to be honest, I would too. Like I have Legend of Dragoon on PS1 just for collecting sake. You know, am I going to play it? Probably not. So, just like one of the other RPG franchise, oh Hack, just like Hack Dot being remade. And there's, by the way, a European trademark for Hack. Look at these fucking muscles, they're still there. So the game is pretty much confirmed to come out in Europe. Yeah, you know, I never, by the way, I don't have the Hack games. I think I only got one. I never played those, so I'm definitely gonna play the remasters or the remake.
Pfizer.
Wait up, 5 minutes. up 5 minutes. Oh yeah. I had to tell my my dad, like, barbecue today. Yeah, you know, from what I like, it's gonna happen this generation too. It's already happening. You know, certain really good games are being left out because there are just so many games coming up. But I think because of internet and YouTube, you know, many people will eventually see stuff like Yakuza, Neo, Nier, you know, because you can actually, you read about it, you see it. When, you know, on PS1, PS2, all of these eras, you really had to be someone who checks out, you know, gaming magazines, or you'll never even know what it is. And that's why so many games just didn't sell, even though they were amazing. And I believe that Legend of Dragoon was also one of these games. That it seems to be, what I've heard, an incredible game, but not many people really played it. And that's why, of course, it's so expensive, because it's rare. Just like Symphony of the Night. That game's almost $200. Like, what the fuck? Why so much? So it will be cool if you know, Sony remakes Legend of Dragoon. And I think it's also really good for Japan, because Japan still is the country of RPGs. So it will just, you know, create even more diversity and gives players, gamers, more stuff to really get a PS4. That it's almost, as a gamer, it's almost impossible to say, I don't want a PS4, I'm not gonna get one, there's nothing to play on it, because that's just almost getting impossible. On PS5, maybe. I mean, sure, I mean, of course, like, a game like Legend of Dragoon is gonna take so long that it won't make this generation. Or maybe at the end. Of course, we don't know, like, if somehow they are working on Legend of Dragoon. It all depends, how are they going to remake it? Is it gonna be a one-on-one remake? Is gonna be the world, battle system, everything the same? Then maybe they can do it a lot faster. But if they're gonna do it like Final Fantasy VII, building the game from the ground up, like, they have 3 years. You know, for example, if they're already working on it, they have about 3 years. They could make it for like PS4 and PS5. Maybe. I don't think Bluepoint will do that though. Bluepoint really only makes like remasters from games that already are made. You know, like Uncharted, Wipeout, or no, Wipeout is not made by them. So I you know. I don't know, like, I think that many classical RPG fans, you know, are especially like, we want the old games back. We want the old RPGs back. So I think if Legend of Dragoon or Wild Arms or any other RPG franchise will get like a new game in the franchise or a remake, if they actually have that turn-based system, that old school music, that old school playstyle, it will actually, how do you say that? people will notice it because they're like, hey, that's like an old school RPG. You don't have that anymore. Or not that much. You know, let's check it out. But by the way, I have to go to the bathroom a little bit. Yes. So, I'll be back in like 5 minutes. Don't go anywhere. Bathroom. back. Back in black. Stupid little camera. Okay. Zone.
AG Systems.
I actually haven't played with AG Systems. It's weird. 11 o'clock. Oh, it's more than an hour away. One. Oh my god, today is gonna be about 30 degrees. It is hot already. Jeez, fuck. In that regard, I have the worst place of house ever. First, up until like midday, I have the sun shining in my fucking back. And then the sun is gonna over the house and going to shine at the other part of the house. Oh shit. So there's always sun here, always warm, always hot. And I don't like hot. If a girl is hot, I don't like her. She should be cool. I don't like hot stuff. But yeah, hopefully today, barbecue. I really like, it's kind of weird, I really like barbecuing. I don't know why. It costs a shit ton of money, like, it costs a lot. But I still like it. It's always cool. Barbecue. DualShock disconnected! Oh, the stupid controller was disconnected. Stupid Sony controllers can only play like for 6 hours and they're empty. Freaking annoying. Assholes. Okay, so as I told you before in my stream, even though pretty much no one will still be here, but still.
And let the beat control your body.
So I've put my Vita collection on for sale. And of course people are responding. And so there was one guy, he says, you know, I want a couple of the Japanese games. How much does it cost? So I'm like, how much do you think it's worth it? How much do you think you want to pay for it?
Bronze medal awarded.
And it was like if the games would be 20 euros each, it would be like 160 euros. And he says 80. So there are 8 games. Because he thinks he really gets Japanese games like Shiren, Ys, Taukiden, Senran Kagura Special Edition, by the way, for 10 bucks. I'm like, dude, seriously? Really? And he was like, yeah, but you just asked what would I give for it? Like, you know, if you want to give 80 euros for those games, then don't even bother. Don't be an idiot. Really, I hate that. People can be so stupid, really thinking that I'm gonna give it out for 10 bucks. Even though we all know those games are pretty expensive. Congratulations, well, thank you. Oh, time trial. AG Systems, oh. I never played with AG, that's weird.
AG Systems.
Now that it's getting hotter, my glasses are falling from my nose. Like, they're sliding. It's annoying. Oh, it's already so hot. It's not good. Lift off. Not go. Lift off. so much cooler. Thunderbirds! Lift off. See, that's so much cooler. Oh my god, do you know Thunderbirds? Of course. Come on. Of course I know Thunderbirds. 18. Oh, missed it. I missed it, sucker. Ah, you're playing Uncharted 4? Are you playing like online or the campaign? The game is great. Of course you should play the original Uncharted games first. Or else, I mean, the story is still, you know, manageable, but a lot of the characters and all the sub-characters you just don't know about, and the storyline behind what Nathan is doing and why he is doing it. Yeah, campaign is great. It's also a game that I really should play again. I only played it once. That's it. There's so much stuff, other stuff to do. Really? Holy damn. Stupid pads. Oh! So you played all the Uncharted yet in your backlog? Oh! This game is awesome. I mean, Uncharted is awesome.
Session complete. Silver
I really...
medal awarded.
I like Uncharted 4, in my opinion, was like an incredible ending to the franchise. So, yeah, it's gonna be cool. Where are you with Uncharted?
Triacus.
Welcome to Song 2.
Yeah, Uncharted 4 is incredible, especially its graphics. But I mean, Uncharted is one of those games that has everything. It has great graphics, great soundtrack, great gameplay, great storyline, great characters. You know, it's not only like, oh, look how pretty it is. That is more like for the Order. Like, the Order is really like, you wanna show your friends what a good game looks like on PS4, you buy the Order. But Uncharted is just everything. Okay, so you found the Lost City. That is a really cool segment of the game. It's also a long segment in the game, by the way. Like in every Uncharted game, when they finally find the place they have to go, you know, it's mostly just an hour and then the game ends. But when they've actually found the Lost City on Uncharted 4, it's actually a pretty big part of the game. I'm really stoked for the new Uncharted. Like with Nadine, I finally remember her name, Nadine. And Chloe, especially Chloe, I love the character of Chloe. She is so cool. No!
Race complete. Bronze medal.
Yeah, they make the game more like with the original Uncharted games, especially Uncharted 3. You really had that sense of doing platforming elements, and then you get waves and waves of enemies, especially in Uncharted 3. It almost felt like the waves of enemies are never ending, and like they're doing that to stretch the game longer. I still liked, of course, I love the Uncharted franchise, but especially in part 3, that was kind of annoying. I was kind of annoyed, like they're just pushing out more enemies to make the game longer. It gets annoying. And I wasn't the only one. Many critics and many gamers were like, this is kind of annoying. Holy fuck what I'm doing. So when I actually played Uncharted 4, I was really surprised that the stealth element was pretty good. And that they didn't use that whole swarming system anymore. You really only have a couple of segments where you have to shoot and but you can also do it in stealth. But it wasn't like one long ride of enemies swarming at you. So I thought that the balance was almost perfect. Of course I will buy the Legacy. I already pre-ordered it. I already pre-ordered Crash Bandicoot, Final Fantasy, Valkyria Revolution, and Uncharted. Speed Freak. Yay. Yeah. Oh, we're actually almost done. Holy damn, I didn't know that. Holy fuck. That's pretty cool.
EGX.
Especially now that you can actually play as Chloe. We don't know if you can also play as Nadine. It would be cool if you could like have two different playstyles. Like Nadine is more action-based, fighting and stuff and shooting because of her background. And with a Chloe, that she more uses her, charm, her good looks and stealth-ish gameplay. That would be so cool.
Gold medal awarded. Session complete.
Gold medal awarded. That's the zone. I don't like zone. Well, I do like zone, but I'm not good at it. What's up, the juggler? How are you doing? What's up? Shake it, don't break it. This soundtrack this song is definitely the best of the soundtrack. This is really catchy. Oh. Flash. Sub Phantom. Rapier. Sub Rapier. Yes, I have played the BioShock franchise. I played the first one, never beat it. I played the second one a little bit, and I played BioShock Infinite the whole way through. BioShock Infinite was awesome. I still need to, I still want to get the BioShock collection. What's up, Raspberry Gaming? What the fuck did I do? Whoa. It's kind of cool that this is just a track that you can play normally, but it feels so different when you play it in zone mode, because it has such a different look to it. Ah, okay. That is cool. Yes. You mean your Ghost. It's just a race game. I mean, every race game has Ghost, right? So you can play as against your Ghost. You can play online. You can play against CPU players. You pretty much have everything a racing game should have. Yeah, it's really techno songs. I think there's also a couple of pretty famous DJs that made a couple of these songs, if I'm not mistaken. And I mostly am not. Tournament. Let's do this one. As a guy. Ah, I feel fat. 2, 1. No. Let's go. Energize. Not go. Ah, you played No Man's Sky. No Man's Sky is also a game I still want to play. I'm kind of hoping for like a complete edition, something like that. But I mean, they're patching the game so much that I'm just waiting for them to say, oh, we're now done with the game. Oh, you didn't like it? Well, I think you really had to, get into these type of games. You really have to like these kind of space exploration-ish games. I'm not entirely sure what No Man's Sky really is about. Get the fuck out, bitch. This is my track. All mine. No! Yeah, I know it's heavily emphasized on online, on new exploring new worlds, and I think there's like they call it a foundation update where you can actually build bases and stuff, and they in the future want to have that you can command a fleet and trade stations and all kinds of stuff, and that is definitely up my alley. But at the moment, meh.
Race complete.
Yeah.
Bomb. Mines.
Ah, sucker. Ooh, that's not good. Oh wait, I'm not sure I used it.
Unit record.
I don't know.
Mines.
Oh, that wasn't good.
Shield active.
Hey, why didn't you do it? Why didn't you do it? What? Did I die? No! Fucking shit. That's not good. Oh well. It sucks. Pretty fast. It's a shame you don't have like a cockpit mode. That would be so cool. Oh, I actually hit him. I blocked the bomb. Ha! Suckers. it.
Contender eliminated. Rockets. Cannon.
Oh yeah! That was really good. Number one, bitch.
Missile. Rockets. Cannon. Mines. Cannon. Cannon. Rockets. New lap record. Rockets. Rockets. New lap record. Final lap.
Oh, that was pretty good.
Rockets.
Turbo. Oh, I thought it was the end.
Tournament complete.
This is the end of the world as we know it. Oh, did I win? Ah, I did it. Haha, I won. Another zone.
Mirage.
Mirage. Go! Sup, Phantom? Pretty cool song. Sup, Flash? Sup, Rapier? Venom?
Zone 5. Clear.
Sup, Rapier?
doing?
Bronze medal awarded.
South Phantom.
Zone 15 clear. Silver medal awarded.
Yay.
Energy critical.
Oh shit.
Gold medal awarded.
Phantom.
Zone 20 clear.
Boo. Oh. Perfect zone. Oh, cool. Drink the grid. I don't even get. One more to go. But guys, it's time for me to clean my house and then go and shop for groceries. Hopefully for a barbecue today. Pretty cool. So, thanks for watching. When will I buy a Switch? It all depends on how much money am I going to get for my Vita stuff. But at the latest, it's gonna be in October when Xenoblade 2 comes out. I'll be definitely buying a Switch then. So it will be or one of these weeks or in October. Yeah. So everyone, thanks a lot for watching. What's up, MR Lumpies? And like always, see you next time.